Alright guys, so let's deal with a couple of straight line questions. I'm going to deal with each of the questions one at a time. So, for question 1, we need to find the complement of 43. We need to name an angle. We need to find the supplement of 43, the complement of 90 minus x, and then we need to do a bit of maths with two vertically opposite angles. Okay, so for 1.1 we need to find the complement of 43. Complement means that two angles together give me 90 degrees. So if I need to find the complement of an angle, then I say 90 minus that angle, and this is 47 degrees. Right, for 1.2 they want to know the angle of 245. So we have a couple of angles. We have acute, but acute angles are smaller than 90 degrees. So 240 doesn't fall there. We have right angles, which are equal to 90 degrees. 245 definitely doesn't fall there. We have obtuse angles. These angles are smaller than 180, but they are bigger than 90 degrees. 245 definitely doesn't fall there. We have straight lines, which are equal to 180. 245 doesn't fall there. And then we have reflex angles. These are bigger than 180, but smaller than 360, and 245 definitely falls there. So 245 is a reflex angle. Then for 1.3 we are asked to find the supplement of 45. Now supplementary angles give us 180, so to find the supplement we go 180 minus the angle that we're looking for, and this would be 137 if my maths allow me. For 1.4 we need to find the complement of 90 minus 80. Now 90 minus x. Now guys, this might look a little bit scary, right? But we do it exactly the same way. It is a complementary angle, therefore it's 90 minus the angle. Then we have to do some maths. So we have to get rid of this bracket thing. So it's minus 90, and minus times a minus gives me a plus. 90 minus 90 is simply 0, and so the answer here is simply x. Right, so please don't get scared when you see bigger questions like that. Okay. Now they tell us that x and y are vertically opposite. What does that mean? It means that x is equal to y. Why? Because they are vertically opposite angles. Now they want to know what is x minus y. Well, if x is equal to y, then x minus y has to be 0. So the next question we're going to deal with, question 2, they say we need to choose a description that describes the angles. Alright, now we need to be quite careful here because we are only allowed to use each of these descriptions once. So these two angles are next to each other. When we add them up we get 100. So they are not complementary, they are not supplementary. So these two angles are simply adjacent angles, B. For 2.2, these angles are not on the same vertices. I know it looks that way guys, but they need to have the same point. So these two angles are not adjacent. Right. 60 plus 30 gives me 90. So these two angles are complementary angles. Okay, so this is A. Let's just make that very clear. A. Alright. These two angles are adjacent. 70 plus 20 gives me 90. So from the description, these are adjacent complementary angles. So this is E. Right. Next one. Here we have a right angle. Guys, right angles are perpendicular. So this is C. Here we have two angles that are the same. These two angles are vertically opposite angles, F. And for 1.6, 150 plus 30 gives me 180. These two angles are adjacent. So these two angles are adjacent supplementary angles. Alright guys, so next up we're going to deal with question 3. I'm going to deal with them question by question. Please remember that for every statement you make from the diagram, you have to give a reason. So, we are asked to solve for x. Now the first thing that I notice is that ABC is a straight line. So the angles along ABCD or ABC are going to be equal to 180, and that is going to be my reason. Guys, highlighters in this case are amazing. So I'm going to start by saying 65 degrees plus 4x plus x is equal to 180. Now I can't just make the statement, whoops, sorry, I went off the page there. Can't just make the statement, I have to give a reason. And my reason here is this highlighted line here. We're going to say angles on a straight line equals 180. Alright, now we are going to simply do some maths. Okay, so 4 plus 1 gives me 5x. And this 65 over here is a problem. So I want to take it to the other side. What I do on the one side, I do on the other side. I go minus 65 on this side. So I'm going to go minus 65 on this side. 180 minus 65 is going to give me 115. Now I want to get rid of this 5, so I divide by 5 on both sides. So 115 is going to give me 23 degrees. Okay guys, so for 3.2 we have line AC, line BD. Alright, we have 4 angles, 72, 3x, 2x and y. Now to solve for x you have a number of options here. I'm going to go through all of them. The first one I see is that line AD is a straight line. That means that 72 plus 3x needs to give me 180. I can't just make the statement, I have to give a reason. Angles on a straight line equals 180. Now it's simple maths. So that 72 there is bothering me. I'm going to take it over. It becomes minus. And so this becomes 118 degrees. I want x on its own. So I divide by x by 3, sorry, both sides. 3 3 is 9, do... Sure guys, sorry, my math just completely left me there. I actually think I made a mistake up here. 180 minus 72, oh yeah, there we go, is 108. And 108 divided by 3 is 36 degrees. So that's the one way in which we can solve for x. The other way we could solve for x would be to use this straight line here, BD. And if we used BD, then 3x plus 2x equals 180. So let's do option 2. So we're going to have 3x plus 2x equals 180 degrees. I can't just make the statement, I have to give a reason. Angles on a straight line equals 180. I simplify, so I'm going to get 5x equals 180. Divide both sides by x, so I'm again going to get x equals 36. There is one more way in which you could have solved for x here. Trying to find another color that's going to stand out. You could have used this 72 and that 2x. Those two angles are vertically opposite. So, again, I can't just make the statement, I have to give a reason. So 72 degrees equals 2x. Why? Because vertically opposite angles are equal. So I want to get x on its own. I divide both sides by 2 and I get 36 degrees. Okay, so that's how I'm going to solve for x. You can use any one of the three. It depends on which one you see. Now we've got the same situation for y here. Y is over here. Alright? Now we could either say y plus 2x equals 180 because they are on straight line AC. We can say y plus 72 equals 180 because they're on straight line BD. Or y and 3x are vertically opposite, so those two are equal. So guys, can you see that you often have more than one option? This is especially true in geometry. Don't panic. Pick the one that works the best for you. I am going to do all three. So the first one, y equals 3x. Why? They are vertically opposite angles. Right, now I've already calculated x as 36, so I'm going to say y equals 3 times 36, and seeing as it is 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm actually going to pull a calculator out and calculate this, and I get 108 degrees. Right, let's look at the next option. So we've done the vertically opposite. Let's do the line BD. So I can say y plus 72 degrees equals 180 degrees. My reason is that angles on a straight line equal to 180 degrees. Right? Now it's maths from here. So y is equal to 180 degrees minus 72 degrees, which will give me again 108. Can you see no matter which option you choose, you get the same answer? Right, we have one more method in which we can calculate y. I just need to grab a new piece of paper. Okay, so we've gone vertically opposite. We've looked at that straight line. Here's the other straight line. So y plus 2x equals 108. Why? Because angles on a straight line equal to 180 degrees. Cool. So now there's a little bit of maths involved here. So we know that angle X is 36 degrees. I want Y on its own. And now you just pull a calculator together. This will give you 72, and so the 180 minus 72 again will give you 108.